and servus from Vienna. I'd like to welcome you to our session today. And it's really a pleasure that we can give you today an insight into how we work as a team and also as individuals in Dynamics 365 projects along the whole journey from pre-sales to the completion of the delivery. My name is Florian Stotz, and I will guide you through our journey within the next hour. I joined Avanade nearly 10 years ago, and I have already worked for more than 15 years with Microsoft Dynamics. I'm a regional black belt for Dynamics 365, and my home base is Zurich in Switzerland. The black belts, in our terms, are a team of solution experts and architects to support our sales colleagues in pre-sales cases mainly. But as you can see, I'm not alone here today in Vienna, and I would like to introduce you quickly my colleagues here in Vienna. And please, Magda.
Thank you very much, Florian. Nice to see you all here. My name is Magdalena. I am a delivery lead at Avanade, and I joined, let me check, it's 3 years and 2 months now, so the time is running. And I am very happy to be here, and I'm responsible for the project, for the delivery in the projects of life science here at Avanade in ASG. And I think I can call Microsoft my system home for almost 10 years now. And usually I'm sitting in Berlin, but I'm very happy to be here in the Vienna office. It's my first time, and it's really beautiful. So thanks for the invitation. Hey, who's next?
You're welcome. My name is Patrick Daxberg. I'm here located usually in the office Vienna. I'm already since 5.5 years at Avanade as a consultant, solution architect, and methodology expert for project delivery within our ERP practice. And thank you, Sabine.
Thank you. Yeah, my name is Sabine Kaiser. I joined Avanade 5 years ago, so next month it's 5 years. So it's a pleasure to have my colleagues from Switzerland and Germany here in Vienna. So we have really 2 nice days together.
Thank you.
So it was really a pleasure. And yes, what's my role in Avanade? I'm a functional consultant in the finance area. So everything about accounting and cost accounting and all this stuff, all about figures and numbers. So that's my role in Avanade.
Perfect. Thank you very much, team. It's why we have chosen this team to introduce to you. It's really to go into a detail and give you a feeling how we are doing project work and how it's really to be a part of the team and within the project. We think it's the best way to give you, based on a real example, how it could look like as a team member at Avanade. So let's get started. Let's take an example of a mid-sized company, 1,500 employees, and they are looking for a new ERP platform. That means we act also as an international team. We are addressing international customers. First, we have to build our team before we can really start and jump into the pre-sales phase. And for that, it's not enough to have only architects in the beginning. We need also already some experts like Sabine is for finance. And I would like to give you the words quickly to introduce how the work really looks like in this pre-sales phase for you.
Thank you, Florian. Yeah, in the best way, we are included in this pre-sales phase at a very early time. So normally we get some requirements, some lists and needs from the customer. And the earlier we can prove them and check them against the system, it's easier for us to fulfill all the needs of the client. So yeah, it's the best way if we have some client meetings right at the beginning, and the functional consultants from the different areas are always there to discuss with the customer, and sometimes really in details because often the CFO for the finance area, for example, is in these meetings at the beginnings, and then there will come some special questions. And so it's really important to be prepared, to understand the business, to understand the client's business and their needs. And yeah, it's easier to be prepared and to know the requirements. Mm-hmm. And then we can find together the solution with the solution architect and with the black belt team, to fulfill all the needs. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm. it's not only the subject matter experts we need for the pre-sales, we need also a kind of a way to transfer the knowledge we can build during this first contact with the client also to the rest of the team. And Patrick, you are an expert for our tools and methodology. It's how it looks like from your and how you can support us here in this process.
Yes, for sure. Just before taking to the tool itself, what we're using, just once more to highlight these examples, what Sabine mentioned, the complex requirements customers have. It's every time amazing how huge our workforce is, and especially if a client, a customer in the first pre-sales phase, having complex requirements and we need to do a proof of concept, it's very good to have this big workforce and to take also colleagues from different expert areas, different products on the Microsoft platform to really show all together already in the pre-sales phase that we are the best partner to work on the solution. And as mentioned already from your side, what's about tooling we're using. So from a tooling perspective, we have or Avanade have developed a unique Avanade delivery methodology that we are using in our projects, especially in the business application area. And there, or this tool is built up upon Azure DevOps, so free platform from Microsoft. What we use as a central solutioning, estimation, and also project delivery tool. And my role, especially also here as a methodology expert in that area, is to work very closely with Europe and also the Global Center of Excellence to exchange about all these methodology things in that framework and to make it better, to make it more usable for everyone here. So you as a solution architect, Florian, for sure have already some contacts with that tool, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it's really very helpful to work on it and give us a chance to put the whole knowledge we have and build already about the client into the tool and so that we are able to transfer this in an easy and a structured way to the rest of the team. Also that's really very helpful. Yeah. And also what I heard is that it's not just the framework we have already in place, it's also something that's really living and every successful delivered project, and maybe also if we had some issues during the project, this flows back to the team who is responsible for the tool, right? So that we can continually improve the...
Exactly. So it's really a day-by-day improvement of the tool. And it's not only the tool that we are very extensively enhancing, it's as well that this tool is focusing on some content, because otherwise we were not able to structure our project in a good way. And so the first point that we are using is a business process library. So when talking about the business process library and the processes a customer might have, then it's usually that these are industry specific. So we are having within Avanade and our delivery methodology and framework predefined process catalogs, process libraries, what we are using during estimation and solutioning, but as well then during the project delivery to make sure that all of the processes we need to implement that the customer will really can implement. And this is the baseline for all our projects. And next to that, we have a second model as a base content for this framework. It's a so-called application model where we are focusing really on all the applicatory and development stuff we are using. So on the one hand side, it's configuration that we need to do in the system. On the other hand side, it might be configuration of a workflow or extension that we need to develop with our developers.
And to be honest, the first thing is how we can cover the expectations from the customer. And the second, the application part, is very easy for us because all the information that my team, when they get into the project with the whole team to work actually on the requirements, everyone has the same knowledge and everyone has the same content. No one is confused. And even the transparency reaches out directly to the client. So everyone is exactly on the same page, right?
Exactly, yes. And that's also the point why we have this very specific framework to make it transparent from the first point. And you as a delivery are for sure interested in the so-called implementation model, the part in our delivery framework where we are really focusing on everything what we need to do to guarantee that it might be a successful project.
Definitely.
And that's very important because when we are having some processes we need to deliver and we need to build some extensions, then it's also relevant that we know what we have estimated for this, and in which order and which direction we need to build that then during the project, and where it fits in the project.
Okay, but it's so technical what you're talking about. So it's so technical. How does it look in real life, in the day-to-day life? So it's a framework. We heard it's a framework. Yeah, it's a application model and operating model and implementing model and so on. So, what does it mean? What does it mean for our consultants, for solution architects? So it's a tool where we collect all the information we have about the future solution of the customer. All their needs, all their business requirements are recorded there. And for me as a consultant, it's so important to have it documented on one place. We do not have any words, any Excel sheets, and have to relate them and bring them up to date and so on. So it's a tool where we have all information, all solutioning, all ideas for some solutions in one system. So the big advantage from my perspective is that even if I'm on vacation, sometimes this happens really.
I don't know who approves that.
But then my colleagues are always on the same page. And I guess this is the important message we have. And everything which means estimation, solutioning, documentation, it's all on the same place in one tool. And for me, that's the big advantage we have within our project.
And it's really a single source of truth in the end, huh? For the whole team and for the for the clients, for the customer. Yeah. Yep.
And I mean, we are a people company. It is so easy to make also all the lives in our team collaboration as easy as possible for everyone. So this makes it really happen, right?
And what's the advantage for the customer? The customer has exactly the same information as all of us. So we
transparency,
can,
full transparency. Yes, you're right.
So we can go through right at the beginning. We can go through this pre-sale phase around these processes which were described by Patrick, and yeah, it's a good guidance for us as well. Not to forget some important processes. For instance, yeah, we can go through it and say, okay, this is important for the customer. This is we doesn't need that, and so on.
And you can fully document which one you will just use as the standard it is providing this, or where you do the extension, and no one is surprised by that, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's also, as you learned in the beginning of the meeting today, we are an international company. Also, a typical setup of a project team is also international and diverse. So that means we have colleagues in the team from different countries, regions. And if we are using this tool, this makes sure that we can really work in the same direction and also based on the same tools. And this will really helping us to reduce dramatically the risk in a project, and that we are really able to deliver the project within the budget and the time. And this is a good point to hand over now to Magda. Assuming our project is now shaped and the solution is made and the client, the customer signed the contract, that means now we hand over the project from pre-sales to the delivery team. And Magda, give us a quick insight. How does this look like now?
So easy.
Perfect. Oh, that's good.
No. Kidding. Yes, but we try to make it as easy as possible, as I said, because when we enter the scene on a project stage, there are some topics that are really usually kind of a challenge, because the handover from one to another person, so from pre-sales, for example, or the solution architect into the delivery, is always kind of a challenge. Hey, we are people, we are communicating, sometimes you misunderstand. But with this approach and with this framework, it's really easy to understand what is planned, how is the solution designed, because when I know how the solution is designed, it's so much easier for me to govern the project towards a successful delivery, right? And this is exactly what is working very fine here, because I think one of the reasons why Avanade is functioning so well is not only the tooling, not only the technical part, as you said, but especially the collaboration between all the people that are on the project. I mean, let's talk about mobilization. What does it mean? I start a project and I mobilize a team. So we have to know how is the product state, how is the structure, how is the governance structured again, and then what are the next milestones we have to work towards. And this is especially important if you collaborate and communicate. And I think we have a great team mentality here. There is nothing that is thrown over the fence and you are surprised by stuff. No, here's we have always the possibility to exchange and to communicate very clearly. So it's easy for us to get the solution into a running work and a running work process then. We need all these experts, because even if you have a description of a solution, you need all these people that are included on this project to get it running and to understand the client even more. And I mean, we can have a solution and we can have a description how to build it, but if there is nobody to exchange with and to work on it and to collaborate, then it's not working, right? So after we have mobilized the team and we are through all these details, we want to get it done into a structured way of working. So kind of rules of engagement to keep up with the transparency also against the client. So again, we are just not one team Avanade, we are also one team together with the client, then it's working. And if we have some details structured and documented in kind of this way of working, supported by such a framework and such tools as Microsoft is delivering, it's really easy to go through and to clarify all challenges and questions and deliver a very successful project in the end.
So this means this means also for a new employee, right, new consultant who joined Avanade, it's easy to jump into a project based on this tool-based approach, really to be a part of a successful project.
Totally, because even if I have, like, let's say, more junior colleagues that I want to include on the project, and they let's say we want to include them and to learn more, you can give them the documentation out of the DevOps together with the framework in cooperation with the client, and everything is there.
Yep.
They have everything they need. So it's easy to include them very, very easily. And I mean, come on, let's be honest. You learn on the job, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Sabine, I think you as a functional consultant, you can confirm that, or
yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. It's the framework or Azure DevOps. It's like for us in our daily business, it's like Outlook. So you open it in the morning and you're working on it each day, and you will document there and not in Note or in Word, as I said before. And imagine, depending on the level in the project, so if you're on a senior level or on a junior level, you are not always staffed only on one project. So sometimes it's a little bit of a brain jogging, and then it's really a good thing to have Azure DevOps beside you, because then you have only to prepare half an hour a day, and you are really in the topic again. And so maybe the junior colleagues are working only on one project and they are documenting there. And as a senior, you came in once a week or twice a week in some meetings, and you can prepare by using this only source of truth for us. And that's for me really the big advantage.
Yeah, same here. I mean, this whole structure that is provided to us lets me breathe a little bit and let me concentrate on the topics that I really need, like delivering a great reporting to the client, for example. And it gives me time to better support the team in special topics than just to go through 1,000 Excel files in the end, right?
And every change is documented, and for me that's the big thing. Even if the client writes something into the system or to his own requirements, or he has to add something, it's always documented with the date, who does it, and so you can directly contact the one who changed anything. And I think during all the projects we have a duration of 1 year at least, or 15 months at least. So you have not always everything in mind, what happens 3 weeks before, and sure. So it's a good documentation, I guess.
Perfect. Assuming the project was now successfully delivered, thank you, team, to give a little bit an insight of how we are doing project work. I hope this gave you also a little bit an insight of the tool set we are using to be successful in project, and also how we can bring in a completely end-to-end transparency in project, also when it comes to the reporting to the client, to the steering committee, etc., so that we can tell them every time, really nearly in real time, where we are in the progress of a project, and what are some probably risks, potential risks, and where are the green lights. So that's possible based on the tool set we are using. But we are not only here today to show you how we are working in projects. You want to probably also know why you should or could join Avanade in future and work with us in some future projects, and maybe why we loved and to be proud at Avanade. And I can tell you from my side, as I mentioned in the beginning of the session, I'm working already now nearly 10 years at Avanade. I'm still proud to be orange, how you call it at Avanade, to be part of this great team here in the company. Mm. And if I have to summarize it in 3 main bullet points, then I can tell you one is, for me, diverse and international team. It's really very motivating in this kind of a diverse environment to work and to have access to the experts in all the regions nearly at every time, if we cover the 24 hours around the world. Brings me also to the next point, Champions League. It's really what I have seen over the last 9 years. It's really Champion Leagues. So we are working here with the best of the best you can find on the market. And that's not only for the team, it's also based on the tools, on the accelerators we are using in our daily work. The toolbox, the methodology, it's really Champions League, how we deliver projects. And then in the end, normally everyone tell you, especially in the consulting business as we are in, you are working much more than needed. But I can tell you from my side, work-life balance, even the deadlines in some cases are really hard and very short to achieve. We have the opportunity to get also a good work-life balance in the end, and to have sometimes off and really to switch off the devices, to be not reachable for the others, so that you can get some new energy for the next projects. And but
important point.
How it looks like for you, Patrick? It's why it's so great for you to be here at Avanade.
Yes, thank you very much. As already mentioned in the beginning, it's already more than 5 years. So I really love to be myself. I can be and I can do that on the project as well as on some internal meetings. And I can put my focus on where I love to put the focus. On the one hand side, all this methodology and project delivery framework topics is one of the topics I'm very interested in, to make projects better, to make projects more structured, and to assist here wherever I can. So that's one of my major points where I love to be here, because I can do what I love to do. And also, as already mentioned by you, Florian, flexibility is great. So on the one hand side, you are able to take, as we call it, an alternative work week, where you define the working time you do. And on the other hand side, you are flexible as well to sometimes have a free Monday or have a free Friday. So it really depends on how you as an individual would like to do that. For sure, it every time needs to be cross-checked with project and project needs. But in the end, we are a people company, and we try to make it as good as possible for the people.
Yes, I really liked how you phrased it, why you like to work at Avanade. And I can fully get behind the statements that you said, because I reflect exactly the same things and the same thoughts and the same experiences as you said. And additionally to that, so I'm not that long here, because just something over 3 years, but still already I experienced very high support by Avanade, not even by the colleagues, but also by the management, the leadership, and the full visibility that I can experience here makes me very happy and gives me a lot of motivation to develop. And this is something that is quite unique, to find something you really like, get the support you need, get the visibility you have. And yeah, I just get open doors where there weren't doors at the first place in the wall. So there are possibilities I never saw before. And this makes me a very high motivated Avanade and very orange.
And Sabine, for you?
Yeah, so we are working on projects, and we have long-term projects, and there are different phases in this project. So we have easy going times, but for sure we have always challenging phases in the project as well. But no matter if you are struggling in which area ever, if it's on the functional side, if it's on the technical side, maybe sometimes it's on the personal side, there is always someone who will help. And that's what I appreciate so much on Avanade. There is always someone who is willing to help.
And actually, if you ask me, you can break it down to just one statement. I'm here because of the people. Hello, look at you. Any question?
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. But that's it. But I think it's there are heavy times for sure. We are struggling. We are fighting in the project. It's not. We are not always on the same. Have the same opinion of the solution and so on. Yeah, so sometimes it's a little bit of a struggle. But at the end of the meeting, we always try to go away in a good mood, in a good
spirit is high.
Yeah, thank you for the word. And this is what I love to be here, really. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. This was a quick insight about how we are doing project and also why we love to be a part of the Avanade team. But now it's really time to stop talking about ourselves and the project. And I would like to take the opportunity also here to answer some questions maybe you have if you watched the session. If I would start at Avanade, I would be interested in to understand a little bit how it looks like in the onboarding process and as a new employee, especially within the ERP practice. And Patrick, you can give us maybe a quick insight how this onboarding could look like. Yeah.
Yes. So from my point of view, and this was already there a long time ago, Avanade have a very unique onboarding procedure. So you have 2 days of get orange, so we call it. As you mentioned, we are totally orange. So we have in the beginning, when we are joining Avanade, we have sessions where we get orange and we learn what Avanade means, which values we have, and how we think. And that's the same then when you join the ERP practice. You as well have then a practice-specific onboarding where you then know, okay, what's important from learning paths, from a Avanade delivery framework, what's the must-knows you have. You usually get assigned a so-called buddy that guides you to the first weeks. And yes, as we are here, everybody is welcome to help and assist new colleagues. And within the projects, then it's a little different.
Yeah.
So, but there's as well the onboarding, and that's very nice. So coming to the next question, and it's for you, Florian, as solution architect. So which are the typical industries Avanade delivery EP projects?
That's a good one, yeah. As you probably know, Avanade is also organized and structured by industries, and we have some focus industries. And yeah, the main industries we are working on is really, it's manufacturing. Every company who produce some products and machines, and yeah, we have life science. It's also a very interesting company, especially when it comes to validation as a special requirements, especially for ERP projects. We have financial services, which includes also insurances and some banks in the end. And then we have also NGOs. We had also, we call it an accelerator specifically for this industry, NGO. There are also very interesting projects already delivered by Avanade in the NGO space. And those are the main industries we are working on. So that means if you're looking for a specific industry, I'm sure you will be at the right place here in Avanade, because we are providing projects nearly in all the different industries.
And don't forget, this is just one excerpt, because we have still retail, we have resource, we have...
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of... Everyone finds something. We can make everyone happy regarding the industries, I would say.
Yep, perfect. Jetzt, you mentioned before also COPs, and maybe Sabine, it's how it looks like from an organizational point of view when you join Avanade as a consultant, architect, or delivery lead. It's how looks the organizational structure here in Avanade?
Okay, so you're right. We are always talking about COPs, but what means COPs? COPs means it's a community of practice, which means within an ERP system, we have different streams. So we have different communities. So one for finance, for example, or one for solution architects, one for logistics, one for supply chain, and so on. So to really fulfill all areas. So if you join Avanade, you will be assigned to one of this community where you want to work to, and there you will find your colleagues. There you will find a platform where you can ask. So we are using much more Teams for that, for example. So if you have a question where you need support, you always can raise there in your own community. And if you don't find help there, you can switch to another community or go directly to our experts. How is your title?
The methodology champions.
The methodology champions for the EDF, for the Avanade delivery framework. Or if you have specific industrial questions, for sure, we can go to Magda directly, and you will find help there.
Yeah.
And when you are within Avanade, you have always the possibility, or no, it's not a possibility. You should do it. You should train yourself. You should make all these Microsoft certifications. So we have an own platform where we can learn for these certifications. To be honest, yeah, normally it's one of our personal goals each year to have one at least of these Microsoft certifications. We got some learning time, so about 80 hours for a fiscal year. You can really invest in your personal development and make sure that you are well prepared for your daily project work.
And this is one of the, again, important factors to get the project successfully into closure, because if you really need the people with the right skill, on the right level, in the right project, and this gives us the opportunity to be prepared for that, right?
Yeah, so Martha, one question to you. What's the typical mixture of remote work versus on-site work at the client for now?
Let's put it in these words. We are not restricted at all. So it depends on the project, as you would say. You can work remotely from the home, from your home. You can go into the many offices that we have. But of course, you are invited, if aligned with the client, to go on client side and be on site, work not only remotely, but in real life with real people in direct exchange, which is a nice mixture that you can have. So I think these times are over where you leave home on Sunday afternoon and you work on the client side until Friday and then come home and have barely a weekend for yourself. So this is much more balanced. We are well aligned with the client. It depends on the project needs, and especially you have always the time to decide for yourself if it's worth to go to the office or stay at home for special days. So I would say it's a good balanced thing, and you have a really good choice to decide by yourself. And maybe we are talking the whole time about Microsoft, but why is Microsoft so great, Florian?
That's a good one, yeah? Yeah, Microsoft, Avanade stands for Microsoft, and if it comes to Dynamics 365, and maybe you ask yourself, what is really the advantage for Dynamics 365 compared to other technologies? It's really, we are delivering a whole technology stack. Also, it's not only the ERP piece or the CRM piece out of it. It's really a whole stack, and it's everything based on Azure, and Azure brings all possibilities about integration, about data and AI, about IoT, for example. It's also very common at the moment. Then based on this, we have Dynamics 365 with all the capabilities. We have different dimensions. It's finance, it's supply chain, it's commerce, it's sales. It's really the whole bench of functional areas Dynamics 365 can deliver based on this Microsoft technology. But that's not all. It's then combined with the collaboration tools from Microsoft, like Teams, like Outlook, so that also users in the end can use the system through Microsoft Teams and not through the Dynamics 365 itself. And then another aspect, compare maybe to other technologies, is the Power Platform Microsoft delivers. It's a kind of a middleware which helps us to implement low-code, no-code extensions to the platform, and also to automate end-to-end processes in the end, to support the clients really to be ready for the future, how we call it normally, with Dynamics 365 as a new platform. So that's in a nutshell what is really the different, and what makes also for us very interesting to talk to the clients with this whole Microsoft technology stack and the advantage we can really bring to the clients.
This sounds very convincing.
Guys, we really missed one important information.
We missed one
Yes, we
information.
really missed one.
Yeah.
Where are we located? We are always talking about the team and the staffing and where can you find us? So as you see in our group, Patrick and me, we are located in Austria, in Vienna, but there are also offices in Linz and Vöcklermarkt and pretty new in Innsbruck. We have Magda from Germany. In Germany, I don't know how many locations we have.
Oh my God, I don't know, but we exactly
in wherever.
Hamburg,
yeah.
Yes.
And for sure, Florian from Switzerland, where we have locations in.
Yeah, we have now 6. So the newest office is in Lugano, in the south part of Switzerland, but in St. Gallen headquarter, Avanade, Switzerland is in Zurich, close to Zurich. Then we have in the middle part of Switzerland, Olten, and also in Geneva for the French part. Yeah.
So every time I open the window, I might have a different view.
Yeah, that's one thing. But on the other hand, we staff the project staffing is also done wherever the people come from.
True.
Yeah. And so
and there we are again, the right people with the right skill and the right level on the right project. And this does not mean from one location.
Yes, I think that's the most important thing.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, that's we are coming closer to the top of the hour and also to the end of today's session. We hope we were able to give you an insight of our daily work and how it looks like if you work at Avanade, and how we deliver successful Dynamics 365 projects. We wish you all a wonderful rest of the day and look forward to meet you, hopefully in short time in person at Avanade. And a big thank you at this point for my colleagues, Magda, Sabine, and Patrick, for this discussion, for the exchange of the topic. And I would say bye-bye and orange greetings from Vienna.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.